Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, even some alternative lifestyle Black males having self-hatred issues and basically can't even select their dates. The one this applies to. I do not know how in the however-ness I even came across this, right? But I was like, you know what? This is kind of a real quick topic on this, right? Because the thing about it is, unfortunately, even within certain parts of a term lifestyle category for blacks, males, and especially American Black males, there is just almost like a another scenario of hatred, right? That even numbers of them, now some of them want to deny it and some of them have that go through it, but you don't hear too much of them talking about it, which is also a problem in itself, right? That there are certain numbers of ones within pronoun-based culture within the alternative lifestyle category that also looks at their color first, of that black first. They don't look at their alternative lifestyle category first. They see black first. And unfortunately, there are certain numbers of alternative lifestyle category numbers of black, especially American Black males, the ones in certain parts of this, that don't realize that, right? It's like this thing about, it's not a funniness, but this, watch this for a second.
Back at the ranch, I'm a breeding bull. What's that? You gonna find out. Where you going, fatty? We're gonna have a party.
Mm, 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 mm. How many American Black males on those slave plantations that were raped up, robbed up? How many? Right? In front of their wives or in front of girlfriends and in front of their children. How many? Right? And those little demonic little slave owners, the ones who know they are, and various ones within the Panamese culture thought it was funny because it was a form of control and power. Right? And then later on, you still have numbers of personnel within certain parts of the Panama-based culture in terms of lifestyle category ones, the ones applies to, still uses certain number of Black males, especially American Black males within certain parts of the terms of lifestyle category as their politicalness, punness, right? They utilize that little scenario, should we say, that brought upon, should we say, gayness movement, right? People know what I'm talking about. That was going on around those mid 1900s, right? When some enforcement people came to there and they raided the building and all this kind of stuff was happening. And some of the main personnel that certain people in enforcement were going out there were certain ones that was Black, right? And then, oh my goodness, look what they did. And then that spurred the movement, right? Again, off the sides of something dealing with Black, regardless, especially American Black. But when I sit there and saw this particular video, what I'm sitting there, what I'm going to play is, again, it was an interesting thing because the self-hatred is still real, even among certain ones within a alternative lifestyle category, Black, and especially American Black. Let me play. Let's go ahead and play this. Let me go ahead and start this up.
Even though my type is kind of like Mexican and white, I'm really not.
Oh, and see, the additional part is, see, Harvard numbers can't even sit there and date who they want to date. Almost like a parallel to certain numbers of American blacks, right? Males. It's like, oh, if they were so choose to want to date that person or that culture, you have certain numbers of women. Within American black women is, oh my goodness, you hate your mama, you hate black women, right? But at the same time, when certain numbers of American black women date personnel with a Panama-based culture, or they date an Hispanic, or they date an Asian personnel, or who they date with, no one can talk to. No, you ain't supposed to say nothing about that. And that goes for however numbers of women within certain parts of a alternative lifestyle category. To my black women, especially American black women, how many of them that are in that particular lifestyle, and they can date who they want to date. But again, when certain ones, males, black males, especially American black males, if they so want to choose to date some other cultures, oh my goodness, look at him. Look, even among those kind of personnel, the black folks, the American black males in that lifestyle, they still hate their mama. They still hate people. They still hate their black. So even they can't even win on that part, like an American black males, the ones who want to date who they want to date. Now, some that understand is like, they can go to hell with their little game plan, because they don't talk about some of these numbers of black women celebrities that's dating and marrying other cultures and backgrounds, right? And however many numbers of other ones, American black women that date outside their race themselves, right? You see how that goes, right? But American black male, he's not supposed to have any kind of choices to date who he want to date. Boy, I'm telling you, contradictory. But let's go ahead and play this.
Even though my type is kind of like Mexican and white, I'm really not into. I just feel like, as a black person, I already have so much chocolate. I already have so much in me. I want to spread the love, you know? Like, I want to spread the nip. Okay, what the hell am I watching? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Dante, and I'm back at it again with another video. As you guys can see by the title, child, we're gonna do a reaction video to this guy that recently went viral. He's been all over my TikTok feed and all over my Twitter feed with, you know, this whole backlash with him saying that he like white and Mexican boys.
So I'm like, however, to the whatever, right? So even certain ones within a terms lifestyle category, black, especially American black males, can't even sit there and date who they want to date, right? Well, I tell you, the games goes toward numbers of American black males, that people have a hatred toward American black males already in general. And then you have certain ones within a term lifestyle category of black males. They're catching hell as well, because black males, especially American black males, if they decide they want to date outside their race, oh my goodness, why are they dating outside their race? But again, when you have and do have numbers of black women, especially American black women, that within a term lifestyle category, that the ones that decide to date and do date and have married personnel not of American blackism, then it's like, oh, well, they can do what they want to do. They can marry who they want to marry. They can be in a relationship who they want to marry. You came with that, right? See the little disgusting tactic.
It's very crazy because I actually seen the very first video that he posted, you know, when he first posted it on my For You page. And it was crazy. I felt sorry for him because he started off the video with saying that he felt ugly. And I resonated so much with that because not only is he dark skinned, but I just resonated with it because at one point I felt the same way too. And it had nothing to do with guys from different races, just dudes in general. Like, that's all I really have to say about the situation. Let's go ahead and start reacting to these videos. I'm gonna give y'all my insight, of course, how I feel, and yeah, let's get into it. Grindr has fucked me up so bad to the point where I can't help but to ask myself, am I ugly? I must be ugly. Okay, y'all, this is the video that I was talking about that I had seen first. Because the standards on this
app and on sniffies. I don't even know which one is worse, but they give two.
Y'all, what the hell is sniffies? I'm gay as hell and I don't know what the hell sniffies is. Y'all, please educate me.
Different vibes, but at this point, the way both of them are working in my life, in my situation, is making me question, like, I'm ugly. Like I had to ask this boy who rejected me, even though we were both bottoms. And at this point, I was just wondering, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do something. But I had to ask him, and he was just like, you're absolutely not ugly, but you're just not my type. And I'm like, I totally understand that. Like, I get it if I'm not your type physically, but this is making me question, like, because I think I'm a pretty fine man. I think I'm pretty good looking. I've seen a lot worse. No offense, but like, it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And why is it so toxic over there?
I feel like the confidence and the self-love is very low. The way he started off his video and then he followed up with the whole I look good thing, I feel like he's just, I'm not gonna say he sounds arrogant. Maybe he do sound arrogant, but that didn't give confidence to me. Definitely didn't give it. So I do feel like his confidence level is to a damn -1. I'm not trying to come in here and try to bash the boy because, you know, I'm just trying to hear him out. But if he do say some shit that pissed me off, I'm gonna speak on it. I'm already kind of cringing just watching the video, but we're gonna do it for y'all.
Again, I have no idea how I even came across this video. I do not. At the same time, it just, you know, I guess it's an interesting thing because unfortunately, be it certain numbers of American Black males, heterosexual version, the ones who know who they are, how you have certain type of American Black women, the ones who do this. Oh my goodness, y'all hate the Black males, hate their mom. They hate Black women, right? And then again, this situation on this video, this particular Black male, or I don't know if he's American Black male, that he's having some self-confidence issues, right, and some internal self-hatred issues, and that people, you know, going off on him for dating, to think he wants to date outside his culture if he wants to do that, right, by what other people can. You see the contradictory part of that.
Keep watching.
Like, what are you looking for? What has porn done to you people? Porn has fucked me up too, but not that fucking bad. I be having to lower my standards sometimes too, but shit. Hello? It makes me so fucking sad. But I can't allow that shit to like make me feel ugly because I'm not ugly. Are you seeing this? I don't even have a haircut. But yeah, it's just really sad, and I'm tired of being single. And
I feel like a lot of us, we put way too much energy and time into dating as, you know, young adults. And I get it, we all want somebody to be there. We all want to be affectionate and shit like that. Most of the time when you're looking for it all the time, it's never really going to come to you because it's like, that's like your main focus. Like, focus on some other shit.
Super. And like doing it to yourself just isn't the same, you know? Like it's not, I love physical contact. I love feeling like touch.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess.
Touching and like making out, like, oh. And you know what? A toy just doesn't do all of that, sadly. Your page, and what you're saying is I need to create my own account. I mean, create my own, and I need it bad. Your page, sadly. So yeah, I need it and I need it bad. Your page, and what you're saying is I need to create my own account. I mean, create my own app for Blacks or just people of color where we can.
Oh, that silly word again. People of color. See, even they got certain ones within a church or lifestyle category, Black, and especially American Black, the ones applies to, got numbers of them saying that silly word. People of color. What does a people of color look like? What does a minority look like? See, I mean, they messed up already quite a number within American Blackism. They're saying that silly word of people of color, right? We like, what is a people of color? By the way, hold on for a second. Hold on, give me a second here. To me, that's like chalkboard, man. When I hear a certain numbers of American blacks, utilize that word people of color, and that word's been, hold on, where over here. What does that say? That says colored. So this stuff is going on still on the 50s and the 60s, right? That still say colored, and you still got the 21st century. Today is December the 7th, 2025, and you still got people utilizing in the 21st century to my people of color. You see how this silly stuff sounds? Not what I'm saying silly, but you see it sounds silly when people talk about people of color, when black folks were considered already colored. And many other cultures are latecomers to America. And some of the ones that came over here a few generations ago, their numbers were so damn minute that they definitely stayed within the confines of their places, and they surely wasn't on the radar of racial racism terrorist type people as they was doing toward American blacks. See, that's when you don't know your history. See, they play the mystery games upon American blacks, which goes into certain ones within a church lifestyle category. And I'm gonna play some from also. This system knows that they definitely don't want any the great James Baldwin type of American black males who understood first that he was a black male first, right? And then gayness second. I'm gonna play it in a little bit.
Like ourselves. But here's the thing, even if I were to do that, it would still be some shit. Like, it would still be some shit because gay people have this stigma, or I don't even know how to say it, I don't even know how to word it, where it's like we want a certain type of body, we want a certain type of like aesthetic. Even me, I'm even realizing sometimes I can be hella like shallow with the type of niggas that I want.
Oh shucks, you hear that word, you hear the other word.
I'm even realizing sometimes I can be hella like shallow with the type of niggas that I want.
That's why that word is the destroyer. You just heard him. Now, as much a certain type of hatred that goes toward, especially numbers of American black males within certain parts of term lifestyle categories, that also get it the hatred put upon them as well, right? And you see this guy, this gayness of black male, utilizing that destroyer word. And that's why, again, that N-word usage needs to be destroyed. It needs to be destroyed. God. Oh, goodness.
But I have to look in the mirror and just be like, okay, you don't like it when they do it to you, so you have to stop doing it to yourself. But yeah, what you're saying is, I should need to come with an app so we can all be happy. We can all get along, and we can love ourselves. Even though my type is kind of like Mexican and white, I'm really not into. I just feel like, as a black person, I already have so much chocolate, I already have so much nigga in me.
You heard what he said again. He has so much N-word in him. And this is also why supremacists, they also laugh at certain numbers of ones within alternative lifestyle category, black and especially American black males that do not understand the game either. To utilize that destroying word of N-word. And you like, do they not understand the destruction of that N-word? And many of them don't even realize how it sounds. It's just like, hey man, what's up, N-word? Man, N-word, come on now. Stop playing N-word. Man, these N-words are trip. And you like, it's almost like it is an eternal catastrophic hatred of that word, right? And then with other cultures, numbers of people that use it, other cultures use that word, which is very infantile. Why can I use the word? Man, you don't go to hell, right? Now, American black males, heterosexual, numbers of American black males, anyway, homosexual, better not go to any other damn country or any other place and try to and listen to some little slang word somebody's using against each other. They ain't gonna let you do that. Do you see how that sounds?
I want to spread the love, you know? Like, I want to spread the niggertree. Mexican and white, I'm really not. Spread the love, you know? Like, I want to spread the niggertree.
Oh, boy, 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 boy. Unfortunately, there are certain ones just like this picture in certain parts of terms to lifestyle category, black and especially American black, ones it applies to, right? So you see how this person was talking about he wants to spread the love because and you lost the N word, and unfortunately, let me play that last part again. And again, I have no idea how I came across this. But it caught my attention in the way of that, regardless, be it an American black male by the millions who also catch demonic anti-American black hell, or with very few exceptions of American black males, the ones that do know the game, right? And so not necessarily surprised. And unfortunately, there are certain ones within our terms of lifestyle category, black and American black male, term lifestyle category, the one applies to, that overall still do not get it in numbers of their skulls, right? Black pain still happens, and especially American black alternative black male pain. But you know what? I'm just gonna go to the next thing. But again, unfortunately, there are certain ones within our terms of lifestyle category, black males, or shall we say, our terms of lifestyle category, American black males as well, they don't understand the game. Yes. Yes. What? They don't understand the game. Well, they don't. They don't understand the game. The last thing I want to show you is, again, what I was saying earlier, from the great James Baldwin. He got it. He was a powerhouse of a speaker, a debater. He understood that first he was a black male, especially American black male, and he was a terms lifestyle category black male, but understood the hatred that was still going on in his upbringing and into the adult life. It got so bad relating to him because, by the way, because he also he had gotten with a person from another from Panama-based culture, or would be classified under Panama-based culture, and however other ones he's talked to before that were black, right? Just give an example. But he basically, left the U.S. and went to France because of the hatred that was going on toward him. You're like, wait a minute now. He said, wait a minute. He's part of the terms lifestyle category, right? No hatred bone in his body. And he's catching demonic anti-American black pain hell, right? Because he's first black, not because he's gayness, right? That's secondary. You see how this goes on that. But the great James Baldwin written several dynamic books, right? Many different videos he's done, many different debates on that. I'm not getting into that too much, but this one I will show. This is a half a piece. And and just the abominableness of the contradiction and the insultingness that this clip I'm about to show. Give me a second here on. And it's only a few minutes I'm going to show this one. When he was debating against this guy named Paul Wise, something, who was a highly educated, should we say, person who went to some certain type of well-to-do, high form education colleges. And the contradictory was that he got into a debate, for the people who don't know, and this guy was a professor as well, and the teaching as well, and written different kind of things as well. And in this debate was around late 1960s, I think. And as he was getting older and older, and you had some colleges that was like, no, we don't think we're going to renew his contract. And he'll try to file suit about age discrimination. You talking about the damn duck calling the geese a damn duck, right? So he would file suit against Harvard colleges that either didn't want to renew his contract or try to push him out because of ageism. And oh my goodness, they discriminated me because of ageism. But at the same time, when you hear this debate, you be like, but damn, but that what comes across as anti-American black rhetoric. You see how that goes. And Paul Vaz, we want to call him, he was also of the the non-historical Jawish religional concept of personnel, right? Because Jawishism is a religionist, right? And there are people who practice Judaism faith in different parts of the globe, but in this system of supremacy, they've gotten people to sit there and think that if you sit there and say something toward what we consider Jawishness personnel, you're like, what does a Jawish person look like? As a great Dr. John Henry Clark made a video on that, right? The powerhouse American black scholar, right? But it's like, oh my goodness, you're not supposed to be talking about this Jawishism. I'm not playing that game because I'm the tactics of numbers of people that do what they do, and you better not minimize Hotler. That bad man Hotler that was supposed to be doing these different things of certain personnel, right? And certain type of Holocausting, should we say? Even though the Holocaustness was going on for American blacks already for generations before that one, even though even in Africa, when they already had an African Holocaust that was going on before Hitler, and still things were going on after Hitler, and still American blacks were going through American black pain after World War II, when Hitler sit there and supposedly wink escaped, right? And some people say he went to South America. Who knows on that? Because he's supposed to have been removed his own life in some kind of bunker, or his life was supposed to be taken in the bunker, whatever it is, but the people have never shown the body. You see how that goes, right? But that's neither here nor there. So the point I'm making is that you have personnel that'll call people anti-Semitic. The people know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, you got people that will sit there and talk anti-American black hatred and do things toward American blacks to sit there and try to sit there and show a demageness on certain things. Like the personnel that know this, the people who don't know, how you have personnel that went to certain type of well-to-do colleges, should we say, and they want to try to get the Supreme Court to strike down of not being able to use race as a certain type of point for entry into a certain colleges, and they were successful to do that, and they utilize a certain personnel within certain parts of a caste system, Asianism, to help out. But the point is that some of the main there was a personnel, should we say, that was of the Jawism of the faithness, should we say, right? Even though it's supposed to be a religional part, that there are people who have relayed over that, oh, well, that's kind of a people. Well, that makes no sense, because the Judaism is a religional faith. So how can it be somebody be anti-Semitic, right, in a religional faith? On that, you would say they anti Judaism or something, like somebody. Anyway, the whole point I'm making is that Semitism is about languages. Semiticalism is also about Afro-Asian languages, right? Just like certain numbers of people within certain parts of Africa would also be considered a type of Jawishism, right? But again, numbers of people that play certain type of games have sit there and cause people to act like they can't say anything about Semitism. And even though there are certain ones that are good and bad in different places, the ones that do know that person is not the historicalness of Jawism, right? I'm just saying, right? But that's what makes it contradictory, because this guy in this video, in this debate with the great James Baldwin, Paul Vaz, is of Jawism faith, but at the same time, through people doing certain type of switchery, then it's a kind of a people. You like, how's it a people when again Jawism is a religional faith part? So how can somebody be anti-Jawism? You see how that goes, right? When people practice Judaism in various parts of the globe, right? Game.
The distance placed between myself and my own assessment, my own experience, was much greater than it would be for any white person in this country. I know you don't believe it. I'm not complaining. I'm not copying a plea.
Of course he doesn't believe it.
I'm trying to make you,
because it's not his cultural concept, right? That will put in enslavement, right, for a century. When his cultural concept background that was sitting there, the Civil War was fought against, right? And then people sitting there trying to act like it wasn't. Slavery was not was the main catalyst for the Civil War. But at the same time, yo better not minimize in Holocaust. Do you understand? I mean, and it's a disgusting tactic, but it's a brilliant that you better not sit there and deny anything dealing with one Holocaustness that's supposed to be that bad Hitler did to a certain type of people. So if you deny that, then you are anti-Semitic, right? Oh, people go off left and right, but at the same time, you got people that want to minimize Black pain, right? The American blacks being inside enslavement for generations, right? And then finish that off after the Civil War and go to Jim Crow laws or Black codes and to the Jim Crow laws, right? Segregation, hatred, right? That still goes now in the 21st century. You see how the disgustingness of going, because the people know that it's not enough American blacks, be it within heterosexualness or homosexualness, right? Within certain, anyway, they know it's not enough black folks regardless. That's going to checkmate that stuff, right? But allow other people to keep showing disrespect and insult toward American blacks. But if you sit there and say something about Hitler, they call you anti-Semitic. Well, I tell you.
Start from scratch. They are helped in various exterior ways in order to be able to find themselves. But the finding of themselves goes within. To become a writer is something that you have to struggle with by yourself, in yourself. And all these other things are something that you have to.
Again, this person was of non-historical Jawishism. And again, but sitting there talking to or trying to minimize what this American black man, James Baldwin, experiences and millions of other American blacks, still that was a black pain that was still going on in the 60s. You see the insultingness of that. That still goes on still in the 21st century, and it's still allowed.
Struggle with by yourself, in yourself. And all these other things are conditions and problems. And I grant you had more than other people had.
And even when they just admitted it, that basically American blacks have had, nobody's had the type of black painness of comparison that American blacks have. And you got numbers of other cultures that have the nerves to try to minimize it because they look upon certain ones within the predominant culture as their gods, right? And American blacks, unfortunately, there are some foolish ones, right? Unfortunately, with very few exceptions that allow people to play these little games, right? That you have other people playing people of color minority games, and it's sold American blacks and trying to get American blacks to minimize black pain. But at the same time, they ain't gonna let you minimize things going on in their culture and by their cultural past. People act like American blacks is just poofed up out of nowhere in America. What an insult.
Say that. I said they were different. I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu, ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than it already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself, you have to be able then to turn up what already happened to me here, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than it already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself, you have to be able then to turn up all the intent of which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You have to be able then to turn up all the intent of which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You have to be able then to turn up all the intent of which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which is not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger. They released me from that particular social terror, which is not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody.
The ones this applies to, still.
Everybody, no matter who, no matter what his attitude, is bigoted.
I did not say that.
Well, has an attitude, it's on his face, is in the way of every force.
You're asking me.
Deflection.
Something impossible. You're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know as Malcolm X once put it, the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That's a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means I can't afford to trust most white Christians, and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their union. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto.
And the thing about it is, it's only probably less than about a minute left. This is, again, 1960s. And I did another video the other day, and there was this white Hispanic woman in California, this one applies to, who probably wish they can sit there and be part of the predominant-based culture, but they never can. So they have to kind of settle for being a white Hispanicism, stuff like that. And they just said some most idiotic stuff about what certain number of demonic anti-American black racial racism terrorists parakeet daily somewhere, weekly somewhere, that I ain't got anything to do with slavery, right? So, but they repeated it in a immigrationist, because they're her mom or dad. What she never said were both of them legal. She never said. She would just say in deflecting that she, like some other people, like first generation, second generation, and maybe third generation, probably immigrants. Well, the problem is 3 generations only around 75 years ago, which is still around around World War II time, right? And World War II, within Americanism, the service was still segregated, and Jim Crow laws are still going on. So she made a dumbass comparison of talking about, oh my goodness, we shouldn't have to pay for talking about immigrating this. And it's like, for without the American blacks, many of their asses wouldn't even be allowed to come to America, right? Because they slide their asses under the people of color and minority situation, right? So that little disgusting ass tax he's trying to do, and unfortunately, that wasn't checkmated left and right. And other numbers of white Hispanicism, the one this applies to, and certain types of white caste system agentists, the ones applies to. There are certain type of white numbers of Native Americans, the one it applies to, right? That can talk about the white man took our land, the white man took our land, and that immigrating this white Hispanic woman, and however ones that similar like her, they won't say anything about that, right? So when this debate, she wasn't even inkling in nobody's eyes, right? Let alone her mama or daddy, probably wasn't even around. Surely both of them probably wasn't around in America like that, let alone one of her grandparents, sure wasn't around, right? So she's a damn latecomer. Her mom and dad is a latecomer and stuff like that. But they got the nerve to keep insulting American blacks. And she, again, she's a white Hispanic in California, and she's run for, I think, some kind of politicalness, or maybe she just bowed out to sit there and say the most silliest rhetoric, right? And she kept trying to put on there, well, up in certain whatever California, it's like basically the majority now Hispanics and Asians. Again, see, it's a whole different topic because they're not talking about Afro Hispanics or Afro Asians, right? So continuing. But again, at that time, 1960s, when Paul Wise here, the non-stock or Jewish person in this situation, and American black man James Baldwin having this debate, they weren't thinking about no Hispanicism conversation. They surely weren't thinking about no Asianism, white Asianism, and they surely weren't talking about no white Native Americanism, right? Because still the two largest population in the 60s would have still been numbers of persons within the Punjabi culture, and one that can slide under that in generic category race, and blacks, especially American blacks, because that would have been the only main person, my goodness, under black, right? 900,000%, right?
I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks they give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
So hopefully, that was an interesting show, or somebody comes across this and listen to this a little bit. I hope this might be an interesting topic on this, because it's something about, unfortunately, like in this show, there are certain numbers of American blacks, males, within certain parts of the alternative lifestyle category that have a tremendous catastrophic self-confidence issues, right? And there are also ones within that same concept category that people are telling them, why you want to date outside your race. Even among certain ones within the alternative lifestyle category, black, especially American black, you like, my goodness, man. But the conversation is about, hey, certain numbers of American black women who are within a certain types of alternative lifestyle category, right? And say the ones who want to date outside their race, you don't have people sitting there asking them, why are you dating outside your race, right? You see how that goes, right? But for American black men, talking about one certain parts of the alternative lifestyle category, which is still a very small percentage, regardless of that category, if the ones who want to date outside their race, they hate their mama, they hate their they hate black people, whatever else it is. But it's funny because they never say they hate your father, right? Because the thing about it, you got to sit there and minimize any kind of fatherness in a situation, especially the American black. Even though American black people, this ought to been shown already in the study that American black males are the most involved. It don't take no rocket scientists to really take a look at that and see who is the most emotional closeness to their children, right? Not like some kind of dragon slayer to their kids, and like some people call them the dragon mom and stuff like. Anyway, I don't go into all that, but the point is, American black males are the most closeness to their children and the most involved, right? And collective American blacks males are in their kids' lives. But again, the system wants to make sure not to sit there and talk about that, right? So they just want to talk about deadbeat dads, but they don't talk about how many deadbeat moms out there, right? Or numbers of women that have left their kids. But again, in this system, they're like, well, be it certain types of males within the Punjabi culture, certain types of black males, especially American black males, by the millions that don't want to checkmate people, with very few exceptions of American black males who do it. And they sit down and look at, like, with this topic, certain type of males within a alternative lifestyle category, talking about more black males, especially American black males, within that turns to lifestyle category, who how many collectively accept racial racism, anti-blackism, right? Instead of also talking about that, right, and putting people in check on their racism, it's not enough. So this is why the system said, no, we don't really want too many of those James Baldwin, which we know that there are many of them, probably less than about 1%, if that, are ones that understand they're a black first, right? Gayness second, right? On that. Because when it boils down to it, for certain ones within terms of lifestyle category, black, especially American black males, understand again, is people look at black first. You can be a multiracial person, multi-ethnic, doesn't matter. If they see some piece of skin of black, they're looking at that person as black. And how many people every day among American black males, be it be it heterosexual, or be it certain ones within a term lifestyle category, right? Black or American black, that ones this applies to, they thought that they can get away with being biracial. And how many have gotten reminded because they look at still that skin color first, say, oh, I see a little bit of pigmentation. That looks like some black, regardless, right? And so the thing about it is, more numbers of within the terms of lifestyle category related to black males, especially American black males, that also started coming together and understand it's black. That black skin is first, not gayness is first, and then black second, because that's what people want to continue to keep trying to get people to try to think like that, right? Because they do not want numbers of American black males, certain parts of the terms lifestyle category, to come together and be like, wait a minute now. He's like, wait a minute now. I think needs to come together on that, because there are certain ones people within certain ones within the economics culture and some other ones, the ones it applies to in certain parts of the terms of lifestyle category, that uses uses American blacks, males within certain parts of the terms lifestyle category, right?
Peace, perhaps on your side, Maximal Scum. Yes, but not on ours. Permit me to inform you that an enemy which appears to be peaceful may in fact be merely biding its time.
Yes. Yes. So the thing about it is that, hope this show was interesting. Thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show.